Okay, so the class will be recorded every week, and I will prepare it for your viewing and post it in your Blackboard class. So you can always go back and refer to things that you may have missed in class, even though you were there, to refer back. Okay, we're going to get started. It's 7 o'clock. As many of you did receive the welcome letter, lateness is not something that um, we engage in this class. So um, thank you for coming on time. And as you read it in the welcome letter and probably in the syllabus by now, you're not permitted to be late a lot in this class. All right. So welcome to Public Speaking Online. If you're going to have an enjoyable time this semester, most students do. It's something, public speaking is something that you are going to use throughout the course of your life, at school, work, and as well in your social life. There'll be times when you'll be giving some special occasion speeches that you probably never thought of as a speech, right? There'll be times when you have to speak impromptu, on the fly, so to speak. So this class you're going to find useful for the rest of your days, I'm sure, at least while you're working, and probably beyond that as well. All right, so now in Zoom, and I see everybody has written their name that's in class, and that is a requirement that you have your name written under your screen so we know who you are. Your classmates know who you are. This is a very interactive class. So instead of a whole lot of lecture, we're going to be doing a lot of exercises. And just about every week, we're going to deliver some type of speech in this class, okay? In class. So you're going to have lots and lots of practice. And I want you to understand that the fear is natural. Many people really dread public speaking. But by the end of this class, hopefully, you will feel very comfortable. At least you will have the skills, but the key is going to be the practice. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. That's just something that you're going to have to do to get really good at this. Okay, so you all have seen the syllabus, I hope, but if you haven't, I'm going to share it with you now. Okay, can everybody see that screen?
Yes.
Let me get into your class and show it. Okay. Well, we're going to come back to this screen because a lot of students are very concerned about those big red F's there. But of course, you haven't done any work yet. And as soon as we start posting grades, those F's will turn into your actual grade. So it looks like that because everything is zeroed out. That's how we have to do it to start the class. Let's get to your syllabus. So of course, this is a total online class. So everything is located on your Blackboard learning system. Everything you're going to need is right here in this Blackboard learning system. Now, since the syllabus was first posted, I have made some changes. So after class, I want everyone to go back in and print a new syllabus for yourself. I want you to print the syllabus, save it, of course, somewhere we can quickly access it on your devices. But I also want you to print it just in case for some reason one day you can't get on the computer. At least you will have your syllabus and you'll have some idea of what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. All right. Let's go into course information. And the first thing there is your course syllabus. Can everybody see the syllabus on screen now? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Again, this class is public speaking online, CMN 112-330. And we start off with some description of the class, learning objectives, your textbook, and then we get into the details and requirements of this class. Grading and assignments, okay? You're going to have 4 speeches in this class that you will be graded on. Okay. The personal challenge and impressive person speeches, those are your introduction speeches, particularly the personal challenge speech. Then you're going to, and those are worth 10%. You're going to have your informative speech, which is going to be worth 20%. And then your persuasive speech, which is going to be done in a group project. Okay, so that's worth 20% as well. And as I said, just about every week, starting with week 3, I believe it is, you will practice some type of impromptu speaking in class. Yeah. So week 3 is when we actually will begin that. Written homework, of course, you saw all of the written assignments, right? Now, this class is accelerated. So it's important for you to try to get ahead as much as you can. Lucky for you, next week is a no class week. You don't come to class next week. It's a holiday. You have off, but you still have assignments due for that week. So that's a week where this week and next week, you can really get ahead. And then we'll be back for class, video class, week 2, which is actually the real week 2. You'll think it's week 3, but it's considered week 2. Okay. And that will be on June 9th. That's when we come back. So next Monday, no class. Now, there is a video class there. However, it does it automatically, and I didn't want to go in and change it. But there's no class next week. Okay, no office hours, no class. We're off from class next week. And then, of course, class participation. As I said, this is an interactive class. So you will do lots of engagement with me and your classmates. And by the end of the semester, you're going to feel very comfortable with your audience. Okay, so now we're going to use a variety of methods in this class. for delivering speeches. Now, we're going to record speeches individually and post them. One speech is going to be before a live audience. That's your informative speech. It's very important that you actually start working on getting that audience now, because students like to come to me when this speech is due a couple of months from now, and they say, "Oh, professor, I don't have an audience." Well, that's going to really be your problem, because I'm telling you on day one that you need that audience. So find someone, some able body who is willing to be present. You're going to scan or pan the audience to show me that you do have an audience. And then you're going to proceed to deliver your speech. And all this is going to be on tape. And you're going to post that speech as well. As I said before, lots of impromptu speeches in class, as well as your final speech, which is going to be a group project, persuasive speaking. Okay, and that's going to be on the last day of class. Now, two of the speeches that you're going to post, which is your personal challenge speech and your impressive person speech, those speeches will be posted. Hold on, let me get some of these people. Individually. So it's just going to be you and your camera. Now, if you record these speeches on your phone, you want to make sure your phone's in landscape. Okay, landscape. Now, Blackboard Ultra gives you the ability to record your speech right in Harmonize. So I'll show you how you can go in there, and it's very simple. It's very user friendly. Or you can, record yourself on your phone, post it to OneDrive, and then put the link in. Now, it's important when you post these speeches, you're going to post them both in where it says the name of the speech video, because that's how you get your grade. And then you're also going to post it in Harmonized Discussion Board, where your peers are going to be able to view your speeches and give you feedback on your speeches. Now, most times I find that students are just so kind to one another. They say very nice, kind things. But I do want you to be honest, because you can't really help your classmates if you're not giving them the honest truth about what you really think of their speeches. So just keep that in mind. We can say it nicely, okay? We can be critical in a polite way. Okay, we can use what we call euphemisms, a polite way of saying things. Okay, but be honest when you are critiquing the audience. Okay, and then of course the final speech is the persuasive speech. I'm going to put you in groups. Actually, I'm going to let you try to determine your groups, but if you don't, I'm going to force you into a group. Okay, and sometimes students let their groups down. I'm hoping this semester we won't have any of that, but if it does, you're going to know kind of early, and I want you to proceed ahead as if that person was not even there. You will also get a chance to evaluate your teammates and give me an idea of what took place, how much work did that person do as a member of your group. Okay? And that's just between me and you, that document. Okay. Now, I did have an error on the dates to remember. The last day of our video classes is going to be June 28th, not August 4th, which is what I had on there. June 28th. On August 4th, you're still going to be in this class, but you're going to be doing work then, okay? So you can take that class hour to complete some of the assignments that are due, because this is quite a few evaluations and surveys and things like that that you need to take, as well as your test 2, which is due that day as well. Okay, so you have that day to, if you want to, complete your test for sure. Now, you will find that there are make sure I have that date right. Next Monday is the 26th. Okay, so that's an error. It says no class Memorial Day, 520. It's 526. So I have to make that change for you too as well. 526 is Memorial Day, but I think we all know when it's Memorial Day, right? Yeah, sorry about that error there. Now, there is also a contract in this class that I would like for you to read and sign it. Because like I said, this is a very accelerated class. And committing to the work that is due in this class, I would like for you to commit. I think it gives you a better incentive to fulfill the commitment. You can't say you didn't know what you were in for this class, right? All right, and then finally, the calendar is on the syllabus. Okay, the last few pages, and it goes week by week by week. Now, this document, that's why I said you want to print it, okay? It has all of the information in there. As well, every week, I have a readings and activities section that also tells you what is required. Now, you can move ahead, and I think it's a good idea for you to move ahead. Okay. So just because there's a deadline date, you don't have to wait until the deadline to submit your work. Okay. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't advise you just to wait until the deadline date, because you're going to find you might have 2 or 3 things due on the deadline date. So that's the absolute last day I'm going to take it, accept it. However, you should try to get it in sooner than that. That way you're not overwhelmed with a lot of things due all at once. Okay, again, this class is accelerated, so you're going to have to put in the work during the week, okay, to stay informed. The readings, you should have already started the readings, at least chapters, at least weeks 1, 2, and 3. At the minimum, week 1 should already have been read. You should know what's going on with that, and moved on to week 2 by now. If you haven't, start, okay? Because you want to get and you don't have to wait for the quizzes. You can take the quizzes as soon as you look at the study guides, you've read the chapter, you know the material, take the test. You get a couple of attempts to take the test. Well, actually, it's a quiz just on the chapters. Okay, and that way it will keep you engaged with what's going on. Now, I do expect for you to have read the chapters and know what's going on when you come to class. Like, don't come to class to, what are we doing today, professor? you should know what we're doing today because I took the time to tell you in advance. Okay. And a lot of times you need to prepare for the class. So be certain. Look at the week that you're coming to class and look ahead. And you'll see I have modules in Blackboard that will tell you what's coming up. Now, I tried as much as I can to keep the assignments in the weeks that they are due, but it's it's not a perfect system. So that's why you need to look ahead, okay? Um, your first speech is due on May 23rd, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit more about that speech before we leave today. Any questions so far? Okay.
No.
For this, I was gonna say for the syllabus,
Okay, who's speaking right
contract,
now?
Zoe.
Okay, so everyone is required to turn on your cameras
So,
so that I can see you and your classmates can see you. Okay, Zoe. And Ajali, is that how you pronounce your name? Anjali?
Hi, yeah, Anjali.
Anjali, okay. Can you turn on your camera, please? Thank you. That's all I can see right now. Let me see. Oh, here's my students. Okay, Alexander, can you turn on your camera, please? All right, Zoe, what was your question?
I was gonna ask for. Oh, I see it now, actually. Um, but I was confused because when we first joined, there was a link for Blackboard, for the meeting, and so I think some people went into that. So I just wanted to, um, let you know that some people went to the other meeting room instead of this one.
So the other people, some people went to my office hours. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure if it's office hours, but there's a link that's on Blackboard when you go into like the details and actions where it says class collaborate and it says join session, and that was different from this link for some reason.
It's on this page.
Yes, it's like right on the right hand side, the further right hand side, where it says class collaborate and join session.
Well, I sent out a welcome letter
Mm.
and I told everybody where to go to get your link, right? You had a syllabus. So that's where you should have gone. But let me see. Course collaborate. Okay, maybe it's something in there from last year or something. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But thank you, Zoe, for that information. I'll look that over. But no, your information for getting into this class, I think you all know that now, right? Is here. Okay. Zoom video conference link. That's how you get to this class. If you attend my office hour, you would go here where it says Professor Utley Herring's office hour. And there's information there as well as the Zoom link to my office hour. Now, my office hour is every Monday from 12 to 1. Okay. I would prefer if you want to be in my office hour to send me an email to let me know you want to come to the office hour. Okay, because I don't want to have too many students and I can't see all of the students. As well, sometimes it's just sitting that office hour waiting and nobody shows up. Okay, so please send me an email to let me know you'd like an office hour visit. And of course, others will have by appointment. And even though I might have none, it may be that I'm free that day. So, like I said, just give me an email and we'll try to find a time that's convenient for us both, okay? For your office hour. Okay, there's information about the course here. Um,
Professor,
yes.
I have a quick question. For this week assignment, is it on week one Blackboard already?
All of the assignments are open now, every one of them, all the way to the last day of class.
Okay.
Okay. For those of you who came late today, I did let all of the students know that you definitely need to look at that syllabus, okay? And you need to look at the video recording if you're late or if you didn't come to class. I will have a video recording of the class and you can go back and look at that. Whatever we cover, you came late, we're not covering it again, okay? Because we don't have a lot of time. We have a full class of students. So we can't waste time going back. So you'll just have to wait until the video is shown, is posted, and you can go back and look at the video at that time. Any questions about the content, course information folder? Okay. Be certain that you complete that contract, which is in the next week, week one. Okay. Your textbook, of course, is here. So you go through the modules, the dates are there for everyone to see. Every week, you need to go here, readings and activities. Okay. And it'll give you an idea of what we're covering for the class as well as in your syllabus. Okay, and the week by week by week, these are called modules. Sometimes you might hear me refer to them as folders, but there's actually folders inside of each one as well. Okay. Again, do not wait until the deadline to submit your work. Okay? Very important. You may be overwhelmed if you try that method. Another thing is, don't try to just go into the modules. Oh, this is all I need to do. You need to look at that syllabus as well. Okay. And you need to come to class because in class, I'm going to give you more information than just what's available on the Blackboard or on your syllabus. Okay, I'm going to give you more detail in class. All right. Any questions about Blackboard? Okay, let me take this down. All right. So now we're going to break out into an exercise. As I told you, this class you will engage a lot with one another. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little exercise, a little breakout exercise. And I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to meet your new best friends. Okay. So you can write this down. What you're going to do is you're going to get your classmates' first and last name. What's their major? Okay. Are they a full-time student, part-time student? What year you're in school? You're a junior? Are you a freshman? Okay. Um, and then you're going to find out a few personal details about your friends, your new friends. Okay. Personal details. So it's not really a bio or your a resume where you're just throwing out uh, qualities about the person. I want you to try to put this in some sequence of a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay? Very important. Now, so you might want to find out, oh, how many siblings do you have? Have you traveled out of the country? Um, did you vote in the last election? Just any type of social, cultural information, details that someone would like to share with you. Now, here's the key. You're going to make up one false thing about the person. Be kind, right? Okay. One false thing you're going to make up about the person. And then the rest of the class is going to try to figure out which one of those things is false. Okay. And the person who is being introduced can then reveal to us which one of those qualities that we discussed are false. Okay. See if we can stump someone. All right. Any questions about the assignment? So let's try to get at least 2 details about the person that's true and then one false one. Okay. Not a lot. This is going to be quick. I'm not even going to put a time limit on it. We don't want to, it's not a book, right? Just briefly talk about your new friend. Now I'm going to put you in groups of 3. So just make sure every person gets interviewed. And 2 people can interview 1 person. Okay. All right. Any questions about our first breakout room exercise? None? Okay. So I'm going to put you in your groups. See how many people we have today. So we need 5 groups. Okay. Jen, you look like you're frozen. Okay, we're back recording. Now, students, I want you to remind me every week to turn on that recorder. Sometimes I forget. All right. What do you say? Professor, is the recorder on? All right, we're waiting for a couple more people to come back. Let me put us in the speakers view. Okay, so while someone is speaking, everyone else will need to turn off your audio. Keep that camera on because we want to see those lovely faces to get a little feedback from our audience. Another thing that I'd like you to be mindful of is to look into your camera's view. Now, oftentimes you'll see me looking around because I'm looking at you all for your feedback. But when you are delivering your speech, you want to look directly into that camera to engage with that audience. Okay, looks like everybody's back. Okay, great. All right, group one will go first, and that's going to be Alexander. Let me try. Riti, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, great. And Malika. Is that right, Malika? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's going to go first? Is that going to be you, Malika?
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Can I do two people or just one?
No, you're just going to do one. And then somebody else is going to introduce you. And then whoever didn't speak, they're going to introduce the third person. Okay.
Okay.
So everybody gets a chance to introduce someone.
So the person I would like to introduce was Alex. So his major is game design. He's a freshman year and he's a part-time student. And he likes playing video games and doing workouts. And he's a athletic fencer saver. And and two truth and a lie. I would say he likes he likes video games and he's athletic and he likes to read books about a romance.
All right, I'll go next. The person I will introduce is
Hold on.
Rudy.
Okay, before we introduce, let's try to figure out what's the one thing that's not true. Who? Anybody? Want to guess? So Jennifer says it's the last one. What's the last one that she said?
Reading romance books. It seems longer than the rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, I
Anybody
love my
disagree?
romance novels.
Anybody disagree? Men write romance novels too now. Okay. What's the not true?
Not reading romance novels.
Okay. All right, you're up next, Al.
All right, I will introduce Rudy. So she is a dual enrollment student. She's currently in high school as a junior. She does not have a current major right now yet, as she's still in high school, and she likes painting and tennis. And she's since she's dual enrollment, she's technically a part-time student. Okay, but for the two truths and a lie, she likes painting in tennis, and she has a parrot.
Okay. The two truths was and a lie were she likes parrots. Tell me the other two again.
She likes painting,
Painting.
tennis, and has a parrot.
Okay. Painting, tennis, and parrot. Which one do you think is not true? Who's not in the group? You can turn your audio on too and speak if you want. You don't have to type it.
I'll say she has a parrot.
Okay.
If that's true, she has to show us the parrot.
All right. Reveal.
I don't have a parrot.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're ready for you.
I would be introducing Malika, and she's majoring in early childhood education for science. She's a third year student, full time. She likes cats, she likes to work out, and she likes art, specifically pottery.
Okay. Which one do you think is not true? Anybody?
I'll say she likes to work out.
Mhm. All right, reveal.
I don't have cat. I don't have a cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, so we can see how this goes, right? Okay, next group. Thank you, group. I'll just briefly comment. Be mindful, looking at camera, right? At some point, even if you're looking down at your notes, you can look back up, engage with that audience. Okay, that's the main thing that I saw. Okay, next group. Okay, how? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
2 for 2. Okay. Niuta? Unita?
Nunita.
Nunita. Okay. Okay. And Tania.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. All right. Tania, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can. Okay, I would like to introduce my friend Nuita. He's changing her major from radiology to medical lab technician. She's working part-time and she's doing part-time at school. She has one kid. She's 26 years old. She's from Ghana and she came here 8 years ago.
Okay. Which one of those things do you think is not true? Anybody? Brady, which one do you think is not true?
I honestly couldn't really understand.
You didn't understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can.
Tell her again, Tania.
Okay. She changed her major from radiology to medical lab technician. She's working part-time and she's at the school part-time also. She has one kid. She's 26 years old. She's from Ghana, and she came here 8 years ago.
Okay, so the 2 truths and a lie are the last 3 things you said. She came here 18
Yeah.
years ago. She's from
8,
Ghana. Oh, 8 years ago?
yes.
Okay, she's from Ghana. And then what was the third thing you said before that?
She has one kid.
1 kid. Okay, Brady.
Mhm.
Which one do you
I'll say
think
she
is
doesn't
not
have a
true?
kid.
She doesn't have kids. All right, reveal. You need to, okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't have a kid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Good guess, Brady. All right. Okay, so now you can introduce your new friend.
Okay. So I'm gonna be introducing Hal. He's an aviation student. He's he he's a full-time student. He works. He started in the spring. He's not. Also, the 2 truths and the lie would be he's not married. He wait. Yeah, the 2 truths and a lie is he's not married. He works part-time and has 5 siblings.
Okay. What do you think, Raymond?
I think the false one is 5 siblings.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have any siblings.
Okay. Oh, you guys are good. You guys are good. Okay. All right. Introduce your new friend.
Okay, so I'm going to be introducing Tanya. She is from Ecuador. She's currently in her 2nd year. She's working full time or she's attending school full time, and her major is public health science. She wants to become a dental hygienist, so she's going to transfer after this year. She was a dentist in Ecuador, and then the 2 truths and a lie is going to be she is currently married. She has 2 kids, and she lives in Philadelphia, so she has to drive to school like about an hour each time.
Okay. What do you think, Daniel?
How did you say one of them was being married? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? I think
she's
that one.
married. She's
Okay, Dan, you say she's not married. Okay.
I am married.
So what's your lie?
I'm not living in Philadelphia. I'm live close by, like 15 minutes away.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, good job. Good job. You all were looking in that camera, so that's good. So we got kicked out. Let's get her back in. All right. Thank you, group 2. That was everybody, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, next, group 3, Brady, Rose, and Veronica.
Hi.
Okay. I'm going to introduce Veronica. She lives in West Windsor. Veronica has a daughter, and she doesn't know how to swim. And also, she's in her first year at Mercer County Community College. Also, she's in education for her major is education, K to 12. She's 35 years old and she's beautiful.
So sweet.
Okay, what's your two truths and a lie? Rose, what's your two truths and a lie?
She has her daughter is 7 years old. She she she's taking 3 classes for the summer, and she has a cat.
Okay. Dara, what do you think? As Veronica, what do you think is not true about her? Unmute yourself.
I'm still thinking. It's a trick one. Cat?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I don't have it. I don't have a cat. Yeah. I don't have a cat. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, who's your new friend, Veronica?
My new friend is Rose. And Rose majors in her major is early childhood education. She would like to be a kindergarten teacher. She has 2 kids, 21 and 14. She likes to cook and she works in New Jersey. So my 2 truths and a lie is that she likes to cook, she works in New Jersey, and she has 2 kids.
Okay, Malika, which one is true? I mean, which one is not true? Unmute yourself.
I think it's the kids.
Rose?
No.
I do have 2 kids. She's
Which one is not true?
not working in New Jersey, but New York.
Okay. Okay. Now the third person, who's your third person in your group?
We have
Brady.
Brady.
Yeah, so since you two introduced each other, now Brady's gonna have to introduce himself.
Oh no, I can.
Okay, Brady, let's hear it. Tell us about yourself.
I play baseball. In my second year at Mercer. I'm in exercise science major. Right now I want to go into like the physical therapy route, and I guess I'll do 2 truths and a lie for myself. So I have a lizard. I live by myself, and I play baseball at Mercer.
Anjali?
You live by yourself.
Yeah, I don't. I still commute.
Okay. Good. All right. Thank you, group 2.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, last group. Anjali, Daniel, and Dara. Am I saying that right, Dara?
Yeah, you can say that. It's fine.
Tell me how to say it. Tell us
Dara, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So roll those R's. right? Dada. Okay. All right. Introduce us to your new friend.
Um, so I'm introducing Daniel. Um, he's a freshman at Purdue. Um, as a mechanical engineer is what he is. I think two truths and a lie. He loves Chelsea. That's the soccer team. Uh, he drinks soda or likes soda, and he um, oh, oh yeah, yeah, I think he loves soccer.
Okay. Rose, which one do you think is not true?
Does it like soda?
Yeah, that's right. I only drink water.
Okay.
Yay!
I think I made that too easy for some reason. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Okay.
So I'm gonna introduce Angeli. So she goes to University of Delaware. Um, she's majoring in financial planning and wealth management, and then is doing a minor in trust management. And then the two truths and a lie, I'll say she's been to London and Paris. Um, she went to a soccer game while she was abroad, and she has a dog.
Okay, Zoe, what do you think?
Um, Maybe that she has a dog.
Yeah, I don't have a dog. And then so he's a full-time student at Mercer. He loves to travel. He's went to Asia before. He used to live in England. And the two truths and a lie is he has a cat named Dubby. He has family in Australia and he loves soccer.
Okay. What do you think, Jen?
Family in Australia?
I have family in Australia.
All right, what's the lie?
I have a cat. I actually have a dog. So I've been to Singapore and Malaysia and yeah,
Oh, wow.
Australia. So
Oh, wow. My niece lived in Singapore for a while. So
yeah.
okay. And now, was that everybody in the group? Did we do everyone? I think we did.
No, you missed me, Raymond, and Zoe.
Oh, no, yeah. But I meant in that group.
Oh, I thought you said that in the last one. That's why I commented. My
I maybe
bad.
did say that, but I'm sorry. Okay, so the last group is Jennifer, Raymond, and Zoe.
Okay, I'll introduce Jennifer. She her degree is in forensics. She has a bunny, seven cats, a dog, and a 4 foot python. And she's in her fifth semester, and she goes to ASU, but she's doing a class here at Mercer to finish up. And two truths and a lie. She has a snake named Noodle. She's the youngest of four siblings, and her favorite animal is the polar bear.
Her favorite animal is what?
Is a polar bear.
Polar bear. Anybody want to volunteer?
I think she's I don't think she's the youngest.
Yeah, that's right. That was the lie.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
I'll go and I'll introduce Zoe. That way we don't have them mixed up like last time.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everybody. So this is. There she is. Left the chat for a minute. I was confused. All right. This is Zoe F. She is a ceramics major. She's in her second semester. She has 4 cats and a dog, and she enjoys 4 cats and a dog. And I'm not going to tell anything else because now I'm going to do the 3 truths or 2 truths and a lie. All right. So she's the oldest of 3 siblings. She loves animals and artwork. She doesn't know what her favorite animal is. That's all, guys. Someone's got to guess now.
Reedy, what do you think?
She does know her favorite animal.
Do I say or do you say, Zoe?
Zoe says. Zoe, which one is not true?
I'm glitching. I'm the youngest of 3 siblings. 2? Yeah, I don't know how to say that, but yeah, I'm the youngest.
Yeah, that's definitely a lie. You can't even get it straight, right? Okay, great. All right, Zoe, tell us about your new friend.
Okay, I'm gonna be introducing Raymond. He majors in aviation, and this is his second semester. He's the youngest of 5 siblings. He's getting kittens in 3 weeks, and he is allergic to cats. My 2 truths and a lie is that he's the youngest of 5 siblings. He's getting kittens in 3 weeks, and he's allergic to cats.
Who wants to volunteer? Okay, Tra.
It's getting cats in 3 weeks.
Okay. Is it true?
That one is true.
So what is the lie you told? Well, let's that Raymond tell. You have
The lie is that I'm not the youngest of 5 siblings.
okay. All right. Okay, good. Good exercise, everybody. All right, so let me get us back in the regular gallery view. Okay. So now at least you met your audience, right? You know who everybody is, and we'll get way more familiar as the weeks go on. So I did want to go over your first speech with you. And I want to show you okay. So you're gonna post a speech here, personal challenge speech. Everybody see this blackboard? Okay. Now there is for both of those introduction speeches a copy, a sample of the working outline. Now, for your personal speech, you're not going to need that working outline. You're just going to actually write out that speech. In the first video that you were told to look at, the instructions are there for you. Okay. What is your personal challenge? So go and look in that video to get the idea of what you're going to do. And that speech is due on the 23rd. You're going to post it here. Now, because we have off next week, I wanted to also talk to you about your impressive person speech. Now, this is the first speech that you're going to have to submit a working outline for. Okay. And then every speech after, you're going to have to present your outlines in parts. So it's going to be your working outline, it's going to be your preparation outline, and then finally your speaking outline. Okay. Now, there is a sample that you can go to for ideas of how you develop this working outline. Now, this outline, the working outline, we do the working outline just so that you can start thinking about what you want to talk about. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to decide, what's my topic? What do I want to talk about? Well, that's going to be up to you. Who's your impressive person? Okay. Then you're going to come up with a specific purpose. Okay. The specific purpose is basically what you want your audience to know when you're done with the speech. What do you want us to know? Okay. In this outline sample, you want to inform the audience of 3 reasons why Molly is my best friend. Okay. Now, your central idea, you're going to develop rather, of tell us what those 3 things are. Okay. So here you see, Molly's my best friend because I've known her since we were in the 1st grade. She had many obstacles throughout her life, and she overcame obstacles to become a better person. Now, those 3 things now become your 3 main points. Okay? Because your central idea has to incorporate your 3 main points. Now, because a lot of times we don't speak the way that we write, you can convert that central idea into a spoken idea. Okay. And you'll see here how that was developed. Okay. So, one thing I need to tell you here is that there are 3 parts to a speech. You might want to write this down. Okay. Your introduction, which is where you gain your audience's attention and you reveal that topic, preview your message. The second part of the speech is your body. Okay. That's where all these ideas are developed. Those 3 main points we were talking about, okay, you're going to develop them in the body. And then your conclusion is where you summarize your ideas. Okay, you want to give the meaning of the message. Why'd you tell us all of this? As well as your closing remarks. And we're going to get more into this as the weeks go on, but I want you to try to develop a working outline for your impressive person speech. Now, for your personal challenge speech, okay, you just really have to worry about this. You don't have to give me a working outline. Okay. You just have to deliver the speech on tape or record it and post it. Okay. But make sure that personal challenge speech has the 3 parts. Now, let me tell you something about the outlines. Whatever outline is in there, we don't want you to use that. Okay. Because I've had students who will go in here and they'll just substitute Molly's name with Kathy. Okay, that's not going to be good for you. We want you to use your own ideas. The samples are there to give you some idea of what you want to do, some guide, how it should look. Okay, and again, we're going to go over this more. But because we don't have class next week and you're going to work on this, I did want to cover some of this information for you. But read the chapter about central ideas and specific purposes for more details. Okay, and we're going to have a lecture on it as well. But I just want, and you see how brief these are? Okay, she's been my best friend since first grade. Someone you can always count on for support and truth, and then preview the message. And then you see here, describe what Molly's been through in life. Now, is yours going to just say this? No, yours is going to be specific to your person. All right. But in there, that's where now you're going to develop those 3 main points, right? And then in the conclusion, that third part, you're going to sum up everything. You're going to repeat that central idea again first as your summary statement. Then you're going to give us the meaning of the message. Why'd you tell us all of this? What is it that you wanted us to really know? Okay. And then finally, you're going to close with some idea that, well, I'm not gonna hold you to the closing right now. Okay, just give me the summary statement and the meaning of your message. We'll get into closings later, but that's what we want to do for the first working outline for your impressive speech. And you're going to do that first speech. That all you're going to do, you're not going to submit any outlines or anything like that. You're just going to give a speech about your personal challenge. Okay. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So you said not to substitute, to just swap out a person that's not Molly. So do we, but we still have to pick a person to.
Yeah, so say you talked about your mom.
So do we take the same questions though for number 1, 2, and 3?
I would rather you not.
So we come up with our own questions to talk about
you come
a
up
person.
with your own questions. Now, if it's so difficult for you that you can't think of something else, then what's there on this first one, an impressive person, I'll go with it. But if it appears that everything you have in there is just everything that's in that, I'm not going to go for it. Okay.
So our questions just need to give us a reason to talk about a person. Those are the kinds of questions, just prompts.
Well, they are your ideas. They are your ideas. Why is that person in some way you're going to have to tell us why that person's your most, why are you impressed by that person? You might want to talk about, I think I have another one in there. Let me see. And it's almost time to go. Let me see. That's just the working outline. But I do have another outline in here in the next week that is a preparation outline. That's the next type of outline that you're going to look for. And you're going to find that there's a template, a certain way that it needs to look. So for right now, you don't need all of that information, but I'm just giving you a heads up. So if you want to go forward into week 3, okay. So I put in week 2 preparation for the next week's class, because when you come back on the 9th, you're going to deliver the introduction to that speech only, just the introduction part to that speech. Okay, and you're going to do that in class. So that's week 3 when we come back. That's why you're going to start on that. So at least you're going to have that introduction part ready to talk about. Okay. Here's a checklist for the central ideas. And I've also included a video chat from a previous class where I talk about the central idea and the specific purpose. So if you want to look at that video, you can also get some ideas there. But in week 3, okay, here's the template. So this is what your preparation outline is going to look like. Now, you see how it says main point, first main point, and then it talks about subpoints, subpoints. You don't have to have specifically one subpoint and then one subpoint, okay? It doesn't have to follow this directly. You may have 2 points. You may have 3 subpoints, okay? So this is a guide. That doesn't mean that you're going to follow this specifically in terms of how many subpoints you have. That's up to you. All right. And where you have a 1, you probably should have a 2. So that's your template that you're going to use for your preparation outline. And then just one more thing. I know we're a couple minutes over. I wanted to share with you. Because I'm showing you how you go from your working outline ideas to your preparation outline ideas. Okay. So here is a sample, and this one is about my favorite teacher. Okay. And you'll see in here, we took those ideas now and transformed them into a preparation outline. The difference between the preparation outline and the working outline is just brief points, quick ideas, but the preparation outline is full sentences. Full sentences. And I'm going to say it one more time, full sentences. And we're going to learn that a speech is not a story. You can have a story within your speech, but a speech is not a story. It's methodically developed. strategic. Okay? There are certain things that we do in a speech that we don't do in a paper. So don't just forget about all of your ideas on I'm writing a paper for English, because a speech is not that. Remember, a speech, people have to hear what you say. It's not like they can go back and read it, right? So there are certain skills that we develop in public speaking that really aren't related to writing a paper, because a paper we can go back and read it again. But when we're listening to someone, you get that one shot and that's it. So there are things that you have to do to guide your audience through your speech. Okay. So here and again is another example that please do not substitute your favorite teacher for everything that's in this outline. Okay. That's very important, because I'm going to grade you harshly if all you did was use the same ideas that were already in there and, just switched out the names. That's not what you're here. You're not going to learn anything if that's all you do. Okay. I want to hear your ideas. Any questions so far? Okay, I'm thinking that's a no, right? You can always email me and I will try to respond to your email within 24 hours if possible. But on the weekend, maybe longer. Any questions? Anybody is welcome to stay after. But it was a pleasure meeting everybody today. Again, welcome to this public speaking class. You're going to love this class. You really are. And I want to see your face in the place every week. Okay? Because when you miss, you really do miss out. All right, have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Sure.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night, ladies. Okay, Rose, did you want to talk to me?
So
Okay.
I'm leaving. Have a good night.
All right. Good night.